Hey everyone, it's Kaylee here, and today I'm sharing a layout and process video for day 4 of my A Scraplift a Day series here on YouTube. Now today's Scraplift is in the top right hand corner, and I've also added the link in the description below. I've also added the link to Rebecca's Instagram. Please do go and check that out. She's going to be joining in with me each day over on Instagram. Now I'm going to be changing this up a little bit, but still sticking with the theme of stars, still including some stitching, but I'm going to make quite a boyish page because I'm going to be using the Little Dreamer collection by Echo Park, I think this is by, which is obviously a completely different theme to the original layout, but I was really inspired by those stars across the top. So now what I've done, I've kind of skipped forward already here because the power of editing. I didn't have to make you watch me do it all. But what I did was I poked holes around all of the stars apart from the really, really tiny ones. And then off camera, I hand stitched around each of the stars in matching colour threads, and I absolutely love how this turned out. Now it did take me a long time, but I do enjoy hand stitching on my layouts, and I love how it looks. Like, it adds so much texture and a lovely effect to the page, and it definitely kind of, in a way, really makes those stars pop on that background. I mean, they popped quite well already, but adding this texture of the thread just makes them pop even more, and I really love it. So it was definitely, for me, worth the time it took to stitch them all, and I just love how it turned out. When you just create something, you just think, wow, I really love that, and that's how I felt about these stars. I loved how they turned out. Now I'm going to be scrapbooking an older photograph today, and this photo was from 2012, and it's of my son TJ, who's now 10, and he was playing with his toy rocket. Now he got this rocket for his first birthday, and he was totally obsessed with this rocket. He loved playing with it. He kept opening the doors and putting the things inside. He just loved it, and it made sounds and everything, and it was actually a present that he got off my parents for his birthday. I mean, it was kind of an extra present because he actually got his first shoes, which Darcy did as well for her first birthday. My parents bought both of them their first pair of proper hard bottom shoes, but because of where TJ's birthday falls, it meant that there was a lot of sales on, so that his shoes actually didn't cost that much. So my parents spotted this and they're like, they had to get it him. He was their first grandchild, and at this point, when he was born, I think my nephew hadn't long been born, so he was still like the only grandchild that was doing things. So he was playing with this rocket, and he's completely in the nud apart from a nappy, and you can just see all these baby children. I love all that. I think it's definitely something that you've got to document, and I could see that his fluffy hair as well, because his hair had only just started really coming in, and I just really love this photo for that reason. It just tells so many different stories, and documents so many different things and little things about TJ at this point in his life. So yeah, even though you can't see his face, I think it's still definitely something that I wanted into my albums and a story that I wanted documenting. So now I got to the point where I'd done all the stitching. I really loved how that turned out. I knew which photograph I wanted to use, and then I didn't know where I wanted to go from there. I knew that I needed to do like something with some embellishments kind of cascading down the page, and at first I was going to use just maybe a cut apart piece and then just stars, but during the embellishment kind of process, I do decide to bring in lots more things and kind of make it rather just about kind of a space theme, because that's kind of where I was going because of the rocket, but I kind of changed it and went for more of a toy theme. So it's kind of more along the lines of just things that little boys love to play with, and little girls, you know, little girls can play with them too. But I really wanted to bring in those things on this page. I love this cut apart piece, which was actually a 4x4 cut apart, but I cut it down a little bit just to include the phrase, which says so much awesome in such a little boy. Now that phrase does run throughout this collection, and I have used it on other layouts using this collection as well, but I just think it's so perfect for a page about my little boy. I have pulled in a word sticker above my photograph which says imagine, because he's playing, and I think that works really well. I am now fussy cutting some stars. Like I said, I got to a point I didn't know where I was going to go with this. I have got some banner pieces in there. I've got some other wordy bits as well. But I just started fussy cutting stars until something kind of came to me and an idea kind of popped into my head of where I wanted to go with this page. And even when I think this page is done, I do actually add something else off camera, which you will see in the close-ups. So I'm still fussy cutting out some stars. I gave up with cutting them out completely and just laid them on the page of where I think they're going to go. And I do kind of like this so far, but it just feels like it needs more. So I end up fussy cutting out one of these kind of speech bubbles. And I go for a navy one which says let's go, adventure awaits. Which I think, again, it works well with the theme of this page. Even though it's quite obvious that TJ isn't going anywhere. He's no clothes on. But he's he's playing with a rocket, and obviously to me that's kind of like travel. Although it's not as though every day you get in a rocket and go somewhere, but I'm kind of going with the travel theme. I do have another look through the sticker book. And I do pull in some more embellishments soon. I'm just kind of flicking through some of these pieces that I've got here, which are things that I'm going to fussy cut out. I haven't fussy cut them all, even though I should do, because it would make it a little bit easier. But I'm just pulling in some more stars here. I've gone for a grey one as well. I felt like I needed something grey down at that bottom. So yeah, I'm just fiddling, really. I pull in this little helicopter, and this is kind of where the whole travel thing goes, and then I start bringing in more of the vehicles that are in this collection. I bring in this big truck, which I do kind of cut down a little bit because I feel like it's got a really big white border. I don't know if it was like a bit of a misprint, but they're not, like, there's more white at the bottom than there is at the top. So I have now skipped forward. I've got those, the car and the helicopter in place. I've got a word sticker which says planes, trains, trucks and toys. There is nothing quite like little boys, and I thought that worked really well. But off camera I do add a little ambulance to that area. I've got some more word stickers. We've got vroom, play all day, and I've also brought in some bramble fox stars as well in red, and then I finish off with some splatters. So that's it for this page. I really love how it's turned out in the end. I'm so pleased I had those kind of vehicle icons. I think that worked really well. And I'm just so pleased it's another story from 2012 documented. I've got my fingers crossed that I'm going to complete this album this year. I've only got a few photos left, so fingers crossed. Thank you for watching. Bye.